Hey Bears fans, Harrison Graham here on Chicago Bears Now. We got a big show planned for you guys. Russell Wilson trade rumors, they are a buzzing around the Chicago Bears. So let's give you guys the background information, and then we'll take a look at 4 blockbuster trade ideas that I put together for you guys. Report growing rifts between Wilson and Seattle, and apparently he's actually approached the Seahawks about potential trade destinations. Now, he hasn't demanded a trade, according to Adam Schefter and according to Wilson's agent himself, but there are 4 teams that he would accept a trade to, and guess who one of those teams is? Yeah, that is the Chicago Bears. Could you imagine if Russell Wilson ended up in Chicago? Can Ryan Pace pull off the unthinkable? That is what we want to know when it comes to Russell Wilson and the Chicago Bears. And on top of that, Adam Schefter joined Waddle and Sylvie at ESPN 1000 in Chicago and added more by saying he would actually welcome a trade to the Windy City. So things are getting hot and heavy between Wilson and the Bears. Who knows what's going to happen? We're going to talk about it on today's show. Now, here was Schefter's tweet saying Russell Wilson has told the Seahawks he wants to play in Seattle, but if a trade were considered, the only team he would go to are the Cowboys, Saints, Raiders, and Bears, his agent Mark Rogers told ESPN. Russell Wilson would be great. We know that. That's no secret here. This has consistently been one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, really since about his second or third year in the National Football League. He was great again last year. Some things went awry with that Seahawks offense the second half of the season, but are you kidding me? Russell Wilson would instantly be the greatest quarterback the Bears have ever had in terms of pure ability. That's not even debatable. Like, obviously, he'd have to win a Super Bowl to jump over a guy like a Jim McMahon or Sid Luckman, but come on, Russell Wilson in Chicago, who says no to that? Do you want Wilson on the Bears? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Maybe you say no. Maybe you're like, bring back Maserati Mitch. Type Y for yes, type N for no. If I see some N's, I don't know what you guys want anymore. Bring Russell Wilson to Chicago. We'll make this the pinned comment. Get your votes in. All right, so there's the background on Russell Wilson. Now, 4 blockbuster trades that I put together to bring Russ to Chicago. Trade idea number 1 from yours truly, Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick for 3 first-round picks, your next 3 obviously, a 2021 3rd-round pick, and Nick Foles. It's going to cost a lot, but in this scenario, you keep your 2nd-round pick and you can still draft an offensive tackle in the 2nd round because this is a deep draft class. You throw the Seahawks, Nick Foles, sayonara. Good luck with that one. Russell Wilson's going to cost a lot. He's just going to cost a lot. Now, will he cost quite as much as like a Deshaun Watson? Maybe not, but probably 90 cents on the dollar. Like, let's say Watson is worth 3 firsts and 2 seconds. Wilson's probably 3 firsts and 1 second. Like, that's just what it is. And the only difference really there is age. Wilson's 32, Watson's 25, so keep that in mind. But 32 these days is not that old for a quarterback. We're seeing Tom Brady win Super Bowls at 43 years old. Now, this is his cap hit if he's traded, which really isn't that bad, especially for 2021. Only $19 million. You can still be flexible and do some things. You can bring back Allen Robinson still. You can cut a couple of guys, maybe go sign a tackle. I would prefer to draft one, but obviously you're going to lose a lot of draft picks if you trade for Russell Wilson. 24, 27 million the next couple of years. Still not a big deal for an elite top 5, top 7 quarterback in the National Football League. So the finances are not an issue when it comes to Russell Wilson. The Bears can work around that for 2021. Now, how many first-round picks would you trade for Wilson? This last package I put together, 3 first-round picks. Let me know how many would you be willing to part with for Russell Wilson. Now, get subscribed to the channel. I promise you this, if the Bears trade for Russell Wilson or any other quarterback, we're going to cover it here on this channel. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Hit that big red button and subscribe. It's QB Rumors season, baby, and I am here for it, breaking it down on a daily basis. So subscribe, join the fun. Will it end up being fun in the end? Who the hell knows, but we're going to be here for the journey, so subscribe to the channel. Trade number 2, Russell Wilson to the Bears for Khalil Mack and 2 first-round picks. Now, my producer Brett did make a good point. Would the Seahawks want Khalil Mack if they're trading Russell Wilson and essentially conceding to a rebuild? Maybe, maybe not. Here's what I would argue. He's still only 30 years old. He's still a premium defensive player, and who's to say that the Seahawks don't flip those picks and try to get another quarterback on the market? You just don't know. What I know is Mack is your most impactful defensive player, and a lot of teams would love to have him on their football team. Now, just 9 sacks last year, but a ton of pressures. A 3-down player, can stop the run as well. Wanted to build a trade around him because I think when it comes to Russell Wilson and a guy like Deshaun Watson, those teams may ask for a premium player in return for a franchise quarterback because franchise quarterbacks cost a ton, like we've mentioned here a couple of times already. So 2 firsts, Khalil Mack for Russell Wilson. Sounds like a lot, but at the end of the day, I think it's definitely worth it. Now, would you give up Khalil Mack in a trade for Russell Wilson? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. I'm not even hesitating. Absolutely. This team desperately needs a franchise quarterback. It hurts your defense, but you know what? I think the net gain on offense is absolutely worth it. What's definitely worth it are these deals with our partners, Fanatics. Get some St. Patrick's Day Chicago Bears-themed gear for 25% off at chatsports.com/BearsGreen. We got T-shirts. We got long sleeves. You got this offset color here, the gray with the green sleeves there. It's a good look. And then my personal favorite, the black long sleeve, the solid black with the Bears in the middle. That's a great-looking shirt right there. Hell, we got socks for you guys. You want to go all out on St. Patty's? We got you guys covered at chatsports.com/BearsGreen. Tons of different gear available for you guys. We got some women's gear as well, T-shirts, hoodies, whatever. Get your wife, get your daughter, or if any ladies are watching, get yourself a shirt at chatsports.com/BearsGreen. All right, 2 trades down, 2 to go. Trade number 3 here. Russell and a 4th back to Chicago again. This one around Kyle Fuller. 2 first-round picks and a 3rd plus Fuller. Fuller's not going to get you as much as Mack, so I threw a 3rd in there. His deal's expiring, though, so maybe the Seahawks are like, okay, 1-year trial. He's 28 years old. We'll take him on for this year. If he proves to continue to be a number 1 corner, they can extend him, and they have a number 1 corner for the future, which that secondary has been problematic in Seattle, so I think that could be something to consider here. Now, it's possible the Seahawks would rather have Jalen Johnson, who just finished his rookie season for the Bears, is younger and cheaper and probably has a longer future in the National Football League, but I would rather trade Kyle Fuller, so for the purpose of this, I built it around Fuller. That being said, if it costs Jalen Johnson to get a franchise quarterback, you got to do it. That's just the bottom line. But Fuller, 2 firsts, a 3rd for Wilson. I think it's interesting. We'll have to wait and see what Seattle wants if they actually end up shopping Russell Wilson. Now, we did this exact same video around Deshaun Watson, so pick a quarterback. Type RW for Russell Wilson, type DW for Deshaun Watson. I would much rather have Deshaun. He's younger. I think he's as good right now, if maybe not even better at times, than Russell Wilson. The 7-year age gap is significant. That being said, if the Texans are going to drag this out for months and maybe Seattle considers a trade sooner, that's something you have to consider if you're the Bears. So pick a quarterback, RW or DW. All right, final one here, trade number 4. More of just a pick-centric one here. 2 first, 2 second for Wilson. Is that enough? Maybe, maybe not. I will say this, though. The Seahawks are light on premium draft picks. So if they're like, hey, we're just starting over, give us 4 top 60 picks, well, there you go. 2 top 52 picks this year, a first next year, and a second next year. They lack top draft picks, the Seattle Seahawks do. And maybe if they do this, maybe they trade another player or 2 to try and rebuild that draft capital, because obviously they traded those premium picks for Jamal Adams this past offseason. I don't think Seattle's looking to blow things up, but it is legitimate that Russell Wilson is not happy with how things are going up in Seattle. So we're talking about it here on the Bears since they are mentioned as one of the teams that Russell Wilson would embrace a trade to. All right, I put together 4 trades. There's certainly plenty more trade packages that could be put together. So I want to hear them from you guys. Send in your best Russell Wilson trade ideas in the comments. I'll interact with you guys. I'll respond to some. Hell, if we get enough good ones, maybe we'll build a show around those. Send in your best Russell Wilson trade ideas right now in the comment section. To kind of wrap up this whole thing, look, I'm not going to sit here and say it's 3 smoking Jays. The Bears are going to get Russell Wilson, but the good news is another quarterback is now, I'll even put it in air quotes, available. That's good. That domino effect we talked about on yesterday's show. Okay, let's say Wilson does get traded even to another team. That's another quarterback available for the Bears that could have gone elsewhere in that situation. What if Miami trades for Russ? Maybe Deshaun Watson becomes more realistic at that point. We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited. The quarterback carousel this offseason is going to be a lot of fun, especially around the Bears. That's why you guys should subscribe to the channel. It's youtube.com/BearsNow.